Today's date is January 5th, 2011, and my name is Leslie Williams. I currently have right now that I made last night over at the University of San Diego another prediction, okay? And it is in direct reference to me starting to advertise what happened with this concerning this the assault that happened on the MTS bus on October 10th, 2011. That video, the video that MTS sent me in reference to this assault was altered by MTS personnel. The environment and the structure of the bus is altered, and that's already online. All you have to do is go to YouTube and type in "Learning Disabled Woman Brutally Assaulted on MTS Bus." MTS sends second altered video. They literally had the audacity to do it. It's almost mind-boggling how dumb these people are. But I guess they figured that since they got power positions in the community, that they would never let this fly through the court, as far as, because all they have to do is say, "What are you, crazy?" in court. See, because they're connected to the system. To help people get understand the connections that they have in the system, is to go to some of my YouTube videos and look in the comments feature. There's a manifesto by a gang stalker. It's not gang stalking, it's organized stalking. People, when they hear gang stalking, might think that this is stalking by gangs. It's not. It's organized stalking set up by organized crime of members that work in the system. They're white and blue collar workers, and they do nothing but use their job descriptions in order to be able to coerce, bribe, slander, intimidate people in the community to harass a target practically for free, because it's got to be cost effective in order for them to make any money off of the target through their Medicare fraud once they break down, through land co-opting, mortgage co-opting, property co-opting, prostitution, you name it, and the Medicare fraud, and by eventually taking legal custody of the target once they get enough false documentation that they deliberately make, create, and try to bring before the court in order to contain the target and syndicated control in order to take over their finances and to exploit them sexually. They are directly connected to syndicated members of the San Diego police officer, the San Diego officers, San Diego Fire Department EMS, because they're the ones who pipeline the targets when they break down to syndicated doctors and hospitals. And if you don't believe what I'm saying, all you have to do is read the manifesto. It flat out says they're connected, that the best way that they like to deal with targets is through the courts, because they're syndicated in them. So MTS sent me an altered video, and they did this because they did not, two things were altered: the time duration and the total environment of the bus, as far as the structure of the bus in reference to the actual physical integrity and structure of the bus, because they had to flip it and rotate it in order to be able to change where he was sitting at and where I was sitting at before the assault. They didn't think the matter through. And I am yet to make a extremely detailed YouTube video in reference to what they did to this video and why they did it. But all you have to do is go online and look at the video itself, and you can clearly see that it's altered. The back door is on the wrong side of the bus. The rail that holds the mirror is on the wrong side of the bus, and the mirror is turned backwards. Why was that done? Because when they altered it and flipped it and rotated it, the rail had to go with it as far as the rotation goes. So did the back door, because he was sitting close to the rail, which is right next to the back door. So to rotate him, they had to rotate also the rail and the back door. Just look at the video. Understand this and be clear. MTS would have no reason to alter a video at all whatsoever of an assault if they weren't involved in it in any way, shape, or form. Why would they do it? It's literally flat out, literally that simple. Literally. So this goes to show, literally, the connections, and it literally brings alive all the blogs that were posted before the assault occurred. Literally, about how it's being harassed on buses by bus drivers and by gang stalkers on buses. If this video, all you have to do is look at it and see the alterations of it, what more do you need to see? And then see the nature of the brutal assault. What more do you need to see in reference to what's happening to me and how it's being literally influenced by corrupt members within the system? Who has got the power to make sure that an assault happens, and who's got the power to make sure that the video gets altered, stays altered, and that I get no legal help in reference to it? Because they already know now that I know that it's altered. So, what they're going to do is they're going to attempt to try and contain me or to discredit me through either county mental health, a hospital doctor, or privately owned EMS to try and stage some type of incident as I'm exposing this physically by wearing a sweatshirt that literally says learning disabled woman brutally assaulted on MTS bus, YouTube it and borrow it. Or they're going to try and accuse me of leaving flyers around in either businesses or places that's inappropriate or illegal for me to do so. They'll probably call it solicitation, and they'll probably accuse me of trespassing. I'm going to do these things through creative and legal means. So anybody that approaches me on any date and says that they saw me do this or that or this and that in reference to exposing this crime, because they want to be able to then call me crazy for what I'm exposing. This is literally how they operate. Go to www.gangstalkandroll.com and look under their techniques page. In fact, right on the front page it says psychiatric reprisal is one of their main objectives. It's how they discredit the target to deflect the truth about what's happening to a target, and it's to deflect the truth about what happened in reference to the MTS video, the assault, and their connection to it. It's literally how they use their job descriptions to achieve these means, the discrediting of a target. So people won't believe what a target is exposing. They're literally doing this to whistleblowers, and they're literally doing this to people in order to take over the people legally through corrupt probate lawyers they're attached to within the system in order to take over a target's finances. There's some monthly Social Security disability checks to exploit their Medicare once they got syndicated control, and that's already explained in previous YouTube videos, and through trying to literally whisk people that they get syndicated control of in syndicated, isolated environments into human trafficking. And they don't want this exposed. They know I know the truth. They know I know the truth. So what they're going to do is use their connections within the system to discredit me so the truth is never observed. This is literally what they're going to do. So I'm predicting it beforehand. And if these things happen after the fact, it will literally show you. It will literally show you what I am talking about are factual realities. Now when I make these YouTube videos, I have to talk fast in order to make sure that I get out of as much information that I'm trying to describe within a 15-minute segment. So, but I'm going to tell you another thing right now. I'm attention deficit disorder, but I am one of the most calmest persons you would ever meet, literally. It's just that when I start explaining about what's happening to me, it's still, even to this day, the audacity and what they're doing to average American citizens. They took me out of my home. They literally took me out of my home by stealing my rent that was mailed return receipt. And if you don't believe what I'm saying, there's a YouTube video right now of Sylvia L. Morales. She's another woman in San Diego that's being gang stalked, and she's got some YouTube videos. You can find her by typing in gang stalking in San Diego, and I found her on the very first page that will come up once you hit enter at YouTube when you type that in. And she's literally flat out saying in her YouTube videos that they are intercepting her credit card payments that she mails return receipt, because they're stupid enough to use the same tactics. I guess they just figured that one target won't know what's happening to another target. So if that don't prove to you how my rent was stolen, which has already been pasted and posted on blogs, that's how they did it, then understand this and be clear. See, they feel that all they have to do is do these things through covert means, keep a target isolated, and then continue the expedition, and then call a target crazy if they whistleblow about it. Every single thing that I'm mentioning, referencing to what they do as far as isolating targets, intercepting their emails, intercepting and hacking into their cell phone to make sure that when they call a place that they try to call for help, they know who they're trying, or who a target might be trying to call by two ways. If I go to the University of San Diego and I'm looking up civic organizations and I'm looking up their phone numbers, they see what I'm doing. So then what they do is they take down the numbers of the places I might call, and since they know the phone number of my cell phone, which has been given to the San Diego police, what they do then is reroute my phone calls to them, and they pretend to literally be the people I'm calling. Or they'll copy and paste the voicemail of the places that I call, and then reroute my call to them, and then play that voicemail. This is the literal scope of what they do. And if you don't believe what I'm saying, go to www.gangstalkandroll.com and look under their techniques page under, well, it's right on there. I don't know how it's titled. It might be, it's in there. I just don't know what section it's filed under, but it literally talks about how they reroute phone calls. They reroute phone calls and emails. And this is how they do it. Because they figure all they gotta do is do these things from a distance. I can't see them hacking into my phone. Okay? Just type in at Google gang stalking and cell phone hacking, and look at the amount of responses you'll get. Google gang stalking in universities, gang stalking in libraries, and look at the amount of responses you'll get. These huge amount of responses that you will get are not there for no reason, because it's happening to thousands and thousands and thousands of Americans who are literally being taken out of their homes to be exploited by people that have power positions in the community, who are using their little job descriptions to aid and abet in the exploitation and the discrediting. And so when someone like me tries to expose it, they use their jobs and their connections to other syndicated individuals in the system, like hospital doctors, to discredit me because of what I'm whistleblowing. And this is literally what they do. And they'll literally even use, what, your ADHD? How come you're not on medication? You seem to be out of control. This is literally what they do. I'm ADHD, but my behavior is appropriate for each and every environment that I am in. They use remote neural monitoring, influencing, and stimulating on me like you would not believe, while trying to suck me into a gang-stalking street theater. You can observe what street theaters are by going to www.gangstalkingworld.com and looking under street theater. It's on their techniques page. And what they literally try to do is suck innocent people like me into productions they bring around towards me along my routes, just like the assault that happened on the MTS bus. These are the little methods and tactics that they use, and then all they feel that they have to do is call you crazy or even stage a witness and blame it on you, so then it makes it look like they have a legal appearing reason to call the police. It's all staged and orchestrated so the police can be called, because then it's a syndicated cop they're calling. He comes to the scene and makes a false police report, or will arrest you, or will petition you into the hospital, so you can conveniently be diagnosed with a false mental diagnosis in order to discredit you. And that's also used later down the road to contain you so they can take over your finances. And this is literally how they operate, literally. And the thing about it is that they don't want me exposing this. So in reference to what I'm saying, in reference to what I'm exposing, they're going to call me crazy for what I'm saying, even though what I'm saying is a total 100% truth. Go to some of my YouTubes, and within the comments there's a link titled "A Gang Stalker Confesses" that flat out says they're connected to doctors, psychiatrists, lawyers, judges, police. It flat out says it. I don't know what more proof that you can get to help the American public see that what is happening to me is a direct result of organized crime who's got syndicated members within the system. Police officers, firefighters, doctors, social services workers, members of county mental health, doctors that own their own private practices, even social security workers. Literally, type in gang stalking and social security. Look at how many responses you'll get there. Type in gang stalking in universities, where I'm constantly having all my internet activity sabotaged, where all my emails are being intercepted, where they find out who I'm trying to contact and then get ahead of me if they see I'm going to these addresses, because I gotta look up the addresses I want to go to, and they had me off at the pass. They literally have gang stalkers going up and down the road with their headlights on as I'm going down the road to go to these places, which proves the stalking that I'm being actually stalked to these places. How do they know where I'm going in order to be able to situate these people in their cars with their headlights on if they don't know where I'm going? They had to know where I was going in order to situate those people for me to see them. They did that through the cyber surveillance over at the University of San Diego Library. Google extensively gang stalking in car headlights, gang stalking in truck headlights, and look at the amount of responses you get there. If you just Google the description of everything that I am saying right now, you will come to understand that everything I am saying is the truth, and that it's all over the internet, and hundreds of thousands of responses that you'll get from Google in reference to each description of what I'm describing, literally. My name is Leslie Williams. Today's date is January 5th, 2011, and I expose this for the simple fact that these types of criminal expeditions need to be exposed because of what they're doing to innocent human beings. They're literally tearing down every aspect of their life to exploit them, and then they had the literal audacity to attempt to discredit them, okay, in order to protect what they're involved in. So anybody that approaches me in reference to me exposing this crime in a legal way, they will be directly attached to this gang stalking expedition. San Diego, California.